Alrighty. Thank you for your patience, everybody, as I ran a little bit late today due to my own getting caught up in how things work. Because I know just doing art may not be interesting for a lot of people. I know me especially gonna have difficulty focusing without at least some background noise of some sort. But I figured out how to split audio so the VOD should not have it, and I won't have to worry about any kind of like flags on that coming up, and potentially also the Twitch VOD not having it. We'll see. We'll see if I got that part of it. But at the very least, the VOD will not have this kind of background piano that I've got lined up. It should be all royalty free, but so was that lo-fi list I did the other day. Thank the gods that none of it actually had any royalty. It's all just flagged, but it's like, but it's allowed on YouTube. It's like, yeah, but how long? But thankfully, by this point, that should be off the Twitch VOD, so I won't be flagged on that, thankfully. But yeah, we got two things we're going to kind of like bounce back and forth between today to work on. First off, it'll be this model for a bit. If I get like frustrated or need a break, I can also swap over to the impact sounds that I worked on like months ago and promptly forgot. Because like the one thing I don't quite like about what is it, Inkscape, it's like it feels like it does not go back in time enough for recently used projects to start off that you can pick from. Like heck, this model one had dropped off, and I know I worked on it 3 weeks ago. But yeah, that's a problem to be solved at another time. Boy, that particular piece picked up a bit. Okay, but yeah, I think to start, yeah, we're going to get this head on one of these, and after the Spooktober month has come to pass, I can go ahead and update my little PNG that bounces around right now to reflect this improved version, much bit closer to what I would like it to be. So yeah, let's go ahead and get that started. First off, let's see, we will not, let's see, I will need that. Let's see, where is, aha, put here. Okay. Yeah, duplicate layer. Just going to take a little bit of processing because it is a lot of detail here. This handsome mug. Okay, great. It's gone. So now we can come down here. Is it go? Back on. Now we can just fully not visible it. Where is? Aha. Right, that's other stuff. We don't need to worry about it for now. So we don't have to worry about that or the palette, so we get those out. I stop reopening when I do shit like that. Okay, we don't need back pose for this. Or the side. So here in the front face. Okay, so head. That we just need to put this right in there. Oh boy. Computer's revving up. Hopefully, this will be the most intensive part, though. Let it shrink from center so we get a bit more. That's most of the way. That's most of the way. It is. Gotta wait for the computer to catch up. Oof. It's this the downside I have come across for working with vectors, because it is so math heavy. Some of the changes like this take a bit for it to update. Okay, maybe I need to keep the head in here so I can actually get the scale right. Okay, I'm getting close. Put it here. So it should be right out here. And that's actually about what I was hoping for, too. Because it kind of gives the impression with the hood that he's kind of like hunched over. He's got his just shoulders up to his ears, you know? Okay, now, we hope this does not break anything. This computer catches up with all this math. We save before anything else happens. Okay. First off, I think the neck has to go to fit in here. Let's see. Neck. Wait, the neck is... Where's the neck coming from? So it has to be under the chin. It's definitely not the hair. Okay, have the full neck here. Where? Yeah, those are ears. It's not the hair. Ah, okay. That's right, I forgot. He got double chin. Some of this will need to be hidden. Okay. Now, how do I do the mask again? It's been a bit since I've had to work any masks in here. I think... that, then, if I recall correctly, white is what is visible. Mask, just in case I lose track of it. Set mask. Close, but not quite. Okay, undo the mask. Okay, now that I figured it out, put this here. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay, set mask there. On the side, still doesn't look right. Okay, maybe this will help. Maybe if I just have it cut off from under the chin as well, that'd look more like the neck hole. There we go, that looks better. It actually still needs a little bit more, but we finally figured out why. It looks, oh boy, that particular video was a huge jump in audio. God, I wish there was a way to just normalize the max volume of everything, but alas. I think there. Set mask. There we go. Looks like some neck coming up, but still got this all bundled up above. Excuse me. Ooh. Okay, the tricky part will be later when I get the other ones updated. But I think I finally got the color right on this, because I didn't realize until I posted the early color version on Twitter, just in contrast to the rest of like the dark theme I have to save my eyes, just how dark skinned he looked. And I'm trying to go more for like someone who's been out in the sun, maybe a little over tanned, and his just skin is showing that. But on Twitter, it looked like, you know, someone of color, which I'm not against, but it's, I mean, you can see the current pixel art PNG I use. It's a white person, and that's because while I'm not like purely white, there's a lot of my family is, and I don't want to try and like claim cultures that I was not grown up knowing and learning about. Because, I mean, honestly, those parts of my family don't feel like mine. My old man was Mormon, and Jesus Christ, was that a huge part of his fucking personality, whether he recognized it or not. Like, literally, all of my siblings have double middle names, which, for those of you who don't know, is pretty common in Mormon, I don't want to say culture, because that feels like a bigger word than it is. But it's very common practice because names are important. And in fact, for lack of a better term, we're going to stick with culture. It's very important amongst people to feel like their baby names are original, representative of them and their relationship with God. And that's a bit of an issue if, your family friend that you've known for years happens to also like that particular name. It's where a lot of the weird quote unquote white person spelling names, like Melissa with a Y instead of an I, come from. And there's nothing wrong with that, but some of them take it way too seriously. But yeah, despite him being, a man of the Mormon culture, it still kind of trickled over to him, much as I may dislike it. And yeah, me and my siblings had to not quite suffer from it. It's not like he's hard on us, but it does kind of place it amongst other Mormon families, just how we grew up. Okay, and I'm just now noticing that the colors on this one never got updated. Yeah, it'd be front. Is it probe? Nope. Not closure. Okay, strike back. Let's get these colors updated while we're here and noticing them. Let's see. There we go. There we go. And hadn't even adjusted where the gradient is. That's looking much better already. Where is gradient tool? It's just going there to there. Let's see. There's dark end, there's light end. Bit of an angle, and then what we're gonna do is we do reflect because it keeps a nicer edge to it. There we go. That looks much better. And then the fill is just solid. I think we can leave the solid there. In fact, let's actually toss it down. One more there. One more there. And actually, there we go. That already looks so much better from the back because you wouldn't see that kind of gilded edge so much. It was more for showing off the light reflection. That refraction. Combine reflection and reflection like an idiot. Okay. Alrighty. Post in the front. Side's still good. It's mostly my laziness in not having gotten the whole robe thing updated for the front and back, but I got the paunch updated, and I got some model refs so I could actually get close to Cassiel, hey! Welcome! Good to see you. Thank you for stopping in for my art stream. Touching on my model for the first time in several weeks. But I'm trying to change it. I'm trying to change that habit. But yeah, after Spooktober has passed, I'm going to have this updated and replacing the current pixel art Have You See Me Jumping Around in. Oh shit, I forgot to switch to Spooktober. Sorry, I forgot my Spooktober mask, everyone. Don't assail me. Don't curse me with the curse of Jack Skellington. I've got it. But yeah, I was just shrinking this one down to the proper model with the head and shoulders. But I've got it good. Mostly what I won't need to work on today is the other posings. So I don't need these. I need head views. Yes, head views. My nemesis hands. Let's see. Should be in all poses. Yes. I got some of this stuff is more just going to need to be the hard work of getting the shapes done. But I need that to remind myself to not take it too seriously. It's okay to mess up because eventually it will be polished. Right, that's what I'm covering from that. This creeps me out a little less because it's got definition there, but let's see. That's all good, but I need... Aha, here. Okay, time to work on hands properly. Which needs this tool. Actual definitions on the shapes. I'm just going to require another one here. Make sure that's free, so I can do both sides separate. Yes. In fact, I think we need to bring all these fingers in some, actually. Especially this one, because it's supposed to be the pinky. Get more of that definition in a second. There we go. Okay, so hands. You do one digit. There's we got a fingertip. We got the center. Another one here. Oh, wait a second, I forgot, because for elderly hands I do need to have the kind of like knuckle bits sticking out a bit more. So I do it like this so I can actually have these curve inwards some. Thicker there. Okay. Fingertip. Move this one. Okay. Oh. There we go. Let's see. Oh, almost forgot. Today's also a little bit story time, because my players got to a very important part of my campaign Friday night. They faced kind of the mid-campaign boss. Like, this is probably not the best way to describe it, but shorthand, like, yeah, that was the mid-campaign boss, who was actually working with the BBG of the whole thing, and they worked really hard to get them to use up all their resources as much as they could in this campaign. Sorry, in this dungeon. In fact, it got to the point... I forgot to fix these ones. It got to the point where they had to take a short rest just for health. They were facing off some enemies who were, like, really nasty. Yeah, they did their best. And God, I thought I had them cornered. I did. I think I got them to a point where they were actually going to, like, really struggle with the few remaining resources they had. But then they surprised me. In one case, the party warlock had Dimension Door, something they had not used at any point since getting it. And the thing about Dimension Door being a teleport spell is be very important for this minion of the overall threat to have known so they could, like, prepare for it. But because it was never used, not only them, I didn't have any preparation for it. Couldn't get something like a Gate Seal, I think is one of the spells that knocked out teleportation in a small area. But yeah, they weren't able to do that. So they went in thinking, it's like, I have sequestered the party artificer away. All he's got going for him is high AC, and he's already used up a good number of slots for counterspelling and whatnot. So just throw save after save to either charm him and make him attack his allies when they come to save him, or just drastically reduce his health. And it was so good until this boss suddenly had two unwelcome adventurers teleport in behind her, and she's like, well, if I'm going to go down, the biggest threat here is you, little missy, the warlock who is also a couple levels rogue. And we have also, like, worked together to make that important to the character and their build. They have a... homebrewed, what's the term? Not packed. Though, yeah, also a little bit of packed. But no, what is it? Elvish Invocation, that's the term they use. Invocation that actually vibes with the sneak attack. It allows them to use it on cantrips early on, but as soon as they reach a certain level, any of their damaging spells, so long as it's a roll to hit, will also benefit from sneak attack damage. Which is very good. Kind of called it the... I had it themed around just being like a packed assassin type of thing. Which, I mean, if you're multi-classing rogue and warlock, it's probably kind of what the patron is expecting of you anyway. So yeah, that was fun. Came to great effect. But yeah, this minion went, okay, well, if it's 1v3, you're the biggest threat, because you don't need a single spell slot to deal heavy damage to me. Which is really bad for her. It's like she has good constitution because she was a dryad who got corrupted, given spellcasting abilities. Oh yeah, it was very intense. They loved it. They felt very fulfilled after that fight. But it's like having to switch from, it's like, okay, this Artificer's a problem because he's got variety. He's got sigil and, well, limited use magic items. And, but yeah, they flipped on my head all because of one ability they had that they hadn't used, so it's not like the enemies could have planned around it. And it was very fun, just having to have her swap her strategy. It's like, well, I can't take out this guy for being the threat of very versatile, so I gotta go after the heavy hitter. And they had to start actually planning their reaction abilities, the ones they can only use once until their next turn. That do things like a help boost bonuses on a save and whatnot. Very useful things to have. Jeez, I feel like I'm doing this hand wrong. It's like this. I think it looks like it just because I still have too much here, I think. Oops. That's a problem. Okay, we do this. There we go. Can you tell it's been a while since I've drawn anything related to anatomy? Because it feels like it should be obvious to me. But yeah, it was a very fulfilling fight for them. They got to the point where she's like, okay, I gotta try and use my spell scroll of just teleporting the fuck away. At which point, their patron, the BBG, came in and is like, no, you're a meat puppet now, and I'm gonna give a warning to them, as well as giving them a chance to kill you, because you failed me. Oh yeah, Illustrator's difficult, though I'm currently using Inkscape, just because it's free. I'm not doing this professionally, so I don't want to have a subscription to an art program. Let's see. Do I maybe have some hand resources? No, that's a clothing thing. Yes, no. Dang it. So yeah, just doing my best with my own hand. Wait, right, I got a hand thing on the other end. 1 sec, let me pick this up. Been years since I've used her for that. It's mostly been... Ugh. Ooh. No, that's fine. Alright, back. So I do have a hand mannequin, but I mostly use it for just putting on the jewelry that I use for like Ren Fair stuff. Let me get this posed correctly for what I'm thinking for book holding. Yeah, that's more or less how I do it. Can I prop it up some way? Wallet? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I've actually got this one wrong. I should have it a bit more vertical. Oh, wrong thing. I've actually got the back of this finger looking pretty good. Needs a bit more verticality like that. Let's make that straight line. Here we go. Yeah, because I need to, oop, not both of them. Let's see, that is fingertip. Let's give it there, delete that one. There. Okay, that's looking a lot closer to what it's supposed to be. Awesome. Let's see. I've got, there's the tip of the finger. Bring this in because where the joint is. And there we go. Zoom in so I can properly, oh, right. I need to make these both corner pieces, then it's the kind of thing that's going to be like invisible from this point of view, but I am very specific for stuff like this. It bugs me if I don't do it the way I want it, even if no one's going to see it. Okay, then and technically the finger goes there. So I think what we'll do, oh, come on, there we go. God, that's one thing I don't like about that. Come on, it. Oh. This is a corner. We're going to have a kind of like mini outline here. And I'm going to have to pretty much remove all this finger, do the correct curve for here, because they overlap. But, that will do it. So what was I talking about? Right, the boss fight, which actually went pretty well after that. Like I said, she was trying to run away, but the BBEG went pretty much, you failed me for the last time, so with last your life, I'm going to speak directly to the party and let them know that this is only one of the many plans I have. So they need to step up. And one of the party members, entirely in character, but they were nice enough to ask before, said, hey, I want to like try and interrupt this monologue with a lightning bolt to the chest. And I said, yeah, they wouldn't even be trying to get out of the way, so just roll the straight damage. And I just said, during this monologue, it's like, you hit them, there's a hole through their chest, the dry vines that made up this dryad's hair are set on fire. But the monologue does not even falter, even as the body falls to its knees and starts burning down to ash. And they're like, oh shit, this the boss means business, because they didn't even comment on the fact that he tried to blast her through the puppet of their former minion. Is like very chilling, very great moment to just end the entire session on. They loved it, even though it was a bit of a drawn-out fight. Let's see. Low-key, I had gotten a little upset as a GM that they're middle of this dungeon that they know the enemy is at the end of. They're just reading in the library. It's like, guys, you know, it's like she could just actively plan for you here, right? It's like, yeah, but important knowledge. And it's like, well, I mean, all right. And she had sent in, let's see, pretty much an undead treant, missing its head, full-on Dohan style, and just a raging fire, done by just a curse. More for flavor of just why the fire is persisting and doing damage. They actually did pretty well in that they almost solved the encounter by just polymorphing it into a small turtle. It's like, cool, but I mean, this curse is still burning it, and turtles don't have a lot of health. Like, you're trying to make it not a threat, and in return you gave it something that, well, died out from the just passive damage. And they're like, oof. Well, I mean, we made it easier to move away, which they did in fact do. See, the Artificer that I mentioned earlier had Vortex Warp, a fun little spell that allows you to teleport an enemy, because they just have to resist a save or be moved, idiot. And with the turtle stats, it just could not have possibly made that save. Like, they did their best, but they did not nat 20 their way into success. And another sip. But yeah, they realized, like, this spellcaster, they've got the Psychic Lance spell that homes in if you know someone's name, making clear that this enemy done research on the party. And with that, right, I have set for overlap, does that. It's fine for this stage. Because we're just trying to see what that is. Oh, but yeah, it is both a sign that the enemy had done research, knew who they were, and relatively what their abilities were, and got their asses into gear. It's like, well, if they're attacking now, it's probably because they have a plan, and they have set up whatever defenses they could to make this final push difficult. Let's see, what was there? Oh, right, there are also 3 quote-unquote guard dogs. For those of you familiar with the Pathfinder system, they are referred to as Hounds of Tindalos. So I just did like a modified like wild dog with some AoE AoE attacks. Because, you know, I'm doing the sin of just converting one major system into another major system. But after the debacle of Wizards of the Coast, just like shake your pick the last 2 years, I'll be switching out of 5e eventually. But yeah, we just don't want to do it in the middle of this campaign. But anyway, the point I was trying to get at is I'm using a campaign module from Pathfinder and just doing my best to convert what is possible. Let's see, third one needs to be... It's actually this greater curve, so we put this here. Yeah, they did their best. They had a very fun moment. And it all worked out. Let's see, and I actually got to use some of the foreshadowing that was not originally intended to be foreshadowing from earlier in the campaign. Like, at one point with the Dryad Treant connection, one of the players was like, well, why wouldn't they just be pissed that the Fae haven't come in and done anything about it? Which is a good question, especially because the Fae interacting is a big part of the respective druids' story, why they're involved with the party in the first place. And I said, just like, yeah, they're pissed. They felt like they were abandoned, but it's been centuries since the Fae were unable to visit. So a lot of the anger and frustration is from generations before. And then I was able to bring in this Dryad spellcaster who is largely fueled by the anger with the Fae. Bringing on that earlier plot point that wasn't planned, but God, of course I'm going to take advantage of that as the GM. It's like, what else am I going to do? It's like, you just served me a cake, gave me a fork, and you expected me not to eat? No. No, I'm going to use everything they give me as fun fuel for role-playing and whatnot. That's the entire point of being a DM. Oh, thank for the D20. 6 from Sticks. Not a whole lot, but I relish the attempt. But yeah, God, I really lucked into this group. I can't say it enough. What did my players do this time? I mean, they fucking... I mean, didn't pull one over on me, but they surprised the fuck out of me. Let's see, I think I said it in... Yeah, I said in Baraka's Discord the other day that they just did the perfect battle against the mid-campaign boss. The boss having done their best to just drain them of critical resources and spell slots, but then they pulled one out on her. They got really lucky. They happened to have spells that they hadn't used yet, so I couldn't have prepared for the BBG who have done research on them to create countermeasures, and they managed to teleport behind an arcane locked door because they did not have time to wait for the cleric to come up from behind with a dispel magic. So instead of an artificer just being very slowly but surely killed out of sight and away from friends, they successfully got to him in time and wrapped up the BBG. Well, the mini BBG. It was. It's one of those moments you can't plan for, but when it happens, it's just perfect serendipity. It's like all the little plot points come together in a way you just can't plan. And I love them for having that kind of creativity. And then, actually using it. Let's see. I think I gotta restart this one. What is going on with this one? Corner. Exactly. It's like, my players are creative enough, I'm not gonna risk detail planning. It's like broad strokes and things I like to do, if I get the opportunity. But it's like, God, it's better to just take notes and take the opportunities I get. Which also feels a lot more natural to people. Or at least to my players. But yeah, after that, they'll have time to peruse the ancient library for as long as they'd like. They had already sent townsfolk and the local adventurers guild to handle the other problem. So this is actually one of the fun details in the original campaign. I'm not going to be able to work while I actually discuss this section, so I'm going to stop for a bit. But the original Runelord campaign, the current mid-game dungeon they're in, is actually the bottom of two previous battle map sections, which are almost maze-like. They're a system of caves that had been used. The first one having just this massive army outside, so easy to call for more reinforcements. Then the middle layers were all the living quarters and extra munitions, weapons are kept, whatever alchemist tables and what have you. But it's majority of this campaign has been one, maybe two encounters in a day. And I felt if they had to go through all those together, back to back, they may not use their resources correctly. They might try to rest in the wrong location or pull back at the wrong moment. So instead, I split into two instances. There's this army and a small demi-plane where they resided. And I changed some of the lore so that this black forest of tall trees is actually similar to the myths of El Dorado and the City of Gold. It's mythic, people across the multiverse looked for it, but it evaded most of their searches. But the main thing of that threat is not just the army, it's the fact that there's a dragon lair there. So I said, okay, there are these two threats. You can go after the one with the dragon, who has not only called out your party and asked for a duel if you come to their lair, but also just the massive army that is the threat. Or you can send your adventure buddies, the ones you've helped actually build up and improve in this setting. Because recently, there's not quite a civil war, but there was martial law on the main city they use. And they worked behind the scenes, they did some great political work and training and protecting lawyers to actually legally overthrow them. And it was incredible. Went longer than planned. It was supposed to be just downtime of 2, maybe 3 sessions, but they had plans that they needed time to actually talk about and do the groundwork for, so I let them do it. But yeah, they made the Adventurers Guild a thing because they backed the right people. So they saw 2 locations, both big threats, and regrettably sent the adventurers to the Dragon's Horde because the big threat is something they need to handle themselves. Also, hi, Barango, welcome. Yeah, just taking a quick break from working on this hand, we shall call it, to just talk about the more fine points of the recent campaign. well, session. The campaign is still going. Yeah, I lucked into these guys. I can't say it enough. And I've said multiple times how this group started with a couple of just like assholes who, well, they thought Nazi joke character of just like taking character backstory moments and just affiliating them with Hitler is their idea of a funny joke. Which I went along with, and they kept wanting to just change characters. So I realized from the world lore I was setting up, it's like, yeah, no, this isn't a joke to some people, and we're gonna take it seriously. But yeah, it's as soon as I kicked those two out, found God, some of them more creative. It's like the very creative, it's like sorry, not very good. The most creative player I've got is the one who is playing our current Warlock Rogue multi-class. She has been phenomenal. Great, like, RP, backstory things, asking about, it's like, hey, is there an organization like this in your world? It's like, I had an idea for it. You can help me give ideas. We'll bounce back and forth on how to make it. And, God, she's been phenomenal for those kinds of back and forth story moments. Next would be followed up by the other two, kind of like back and forth on who is the most creative of them. Currently, the Artificer doing some dips and Wizard, though he is also a DM, so that explains some of the creativity. The other one, who is currently the Druid with a 1-level dip into Peace Cleric. That's it. But yeah, they're all great people. I appreciate them all. Even the one currently playing our Pure Cleric. This campaign, we actually got to do more stuff with backstory ideas she had. Because the first one, she was just a fighter. I think kind of just trying to get more a feel for the group and playing something more, not generic, easier to like plan around. Like originally they were a champion cleric, but after we switched the party up, switched half the party out with new players, changed to the Rune Knight, that's it. And they have just gotten better and better. Couldn't ask for better players. Let's see, Brayson saying, meanwhile, in their Pathfinder game, the Oracle was lured to the residence of an immortal monk by a small-faced spirit to pester the ancient guy, who described the situation as aggressive recruitment efforts and first world problems. That's great. Bringo, let's see, in the D&D campaign they're currently in, there's a rogue warlock who's actually a dead god possessing a brain dead gnome. The ideas players have sometimes. It's just phenomenal. Let's see, what do I need to change here? This pinky finger still looks wrong. So I think this needs to be down. Okay, let's start with this. Needs to be more like that. There we go. That's first knuckle. Let's see, Brazen for the uninitiated Pathfinder equivalent to the Feywild is called the First World. Oh, I was actually unfamiliar with that. That's good to know. Ooh, okay, I get the pun. The First World Problems. God damn it. Yeah, two of my players would enjoy that pun if we were playing Pathfinder proper, instead of converting a Pathfinder campaign to 5e. That is probably exactly the phrasing they would have done for that joke, too. God damn. Let's see. That needs to be there. I think we need to do that. So I have to reflavor Banshee from Undead to Fey to make one of the characters Godmother Bean. That's certainly a name. Though, Yeah, I could see Banshee being either, depending on which lore you're kind of like focusing on for it. Seed. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Let's see. The closest I have in my setting is my version of the Revenant, which my specifically, like the specific detail that's important is if a Revenant manages to get their revenge without having died at any point themselves, they get their body back. Like, it's fully considered a human again. They're back to life. At the expense of the person who drew the iron that want for revenge in the first place. The players found this out completely by accident with an NPC Revenant. And just letting her do her business, get revenge, instead of having attacked her. And it's very sweet, but also letting them know it's like, this is a very different campaign world than they're familiar with. Let's see, especially since Seed is pronounced it at least sort of like she. Yeah. Though I pronounce it Seed a little bit. One, because Feywild nature stuff, but also because if I said it something like she, some of my players would not get it. It's like pronouncing tarot as tarot instead of tarot. It's like sometimes you have to say tarot for the white people who don't fucking care. Things you must do to get customers. Let's see, I think this needs to be a little longer. Then that's fine. Like this. Okay, I've got the inside of this finger pretty good. I think I need to do another one here to better control end of the pinky shape. Do it like this. Oh wait, right, I need to make this back to line. There. Just got this. We need to these two down a bit. Also seeing reference to weren't back for revenge, just some major unfinished business. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, for revenants like that in my system, if it doesn't involve like physical revenge, like killing someone, they don't get their life back. Like, it's that transfer of life energy that gets them back. Yeah, there is just no shade against the ones who just have unfinished business. It's just the trade-off of how life energy works. Oh yeah, Baringo's got a Sephi, Goblin Wizard Cleric Librarian, who has made a minor appearance in my setting because of I think it was during a charity stream. He got the decision to kind of like minor design a character. And they actually recently got the chance to go to the Morningstar archives themselves, get that job. So congrats on Sephi and their multiplanar adventure. Let's see, for Quest Giving and Loans Committee, the Anarchist Free Library, registered to retrieve a book on mycomancy, mushroom magic. Huh. Borrowed 40 years prior by an unnamed wizard. Do I take 40 years because anarchists took 40 years to get a census? That's nice. But yeah, the fun that this particular hobby brings to the community is great. It's just a shame capitalism tries to ruin it so much. Okay, what do I need rest for this finger? I think it mostly just needs to be made thinner. Then like that. Okay, enough for mannequin for that one. For fat and roundness. Yeah, it's actually pretty good, though. I just at least on my hand need to make that bulge out a bit more inside, just because when it curls like that, then kind of smooth out there. That's Athenian democracy for you. Yep. The entire committee to agree to send a single librarian on a quest. Brazen, also got to play a fun character, a couple one-shots. Wagner Kopflos, a Dulahan. Oh, Flavored Reborn, yeah. That's about how I do Revenants for a player. It's very useful in that regard. But, Reborns are so fun. Sorry, Revenants. Revenants are so fun. Just as a concept and a story. Let's see, I think, make this a corner. That can go up a little bit, representing kind of like the nail. Now I'm going to need another one, aren't I? This, yeah, that looks pretty good for a nail shape. Leave it like that. Okay, then save that. I'm going to need to I'm not going to have to do multiple layers just for all these fingers. I think I might have to. Shit. We'll try to keep doing it this way for the moment. Because I do know these gaps can be covered by the, what's it called? The stroke. Just the outside outline. So do this for now. I think we'll move all these over a little bit so they are closer to where they should be. Then we'll start getting the definition on the inside here. See, benefit of Revenant, they're literally unkillable until their business is resolved. Downside, they normally cease to exist as soon as the task is done. Very existential right there. What is more important? Being able to live out your life as much as you can, or to get that final wish, that final bit of business done and squared away. It's a very interesting theme to kind of pursue for a character. So let's see, most of this finger is going to be covered up by here. So I think we can start by just having this. Let's see, let's turn all these into corners. We're going to just do this. Thin line. Doesn't need to be perfect. As long as it's most of the way, it kind of still has that weight of this finger being in front of here. But here's where it diverges. Actually pretty close. We'll, for now, just get broad strokes done. There, pointing more that way. We're just going to try and preserve this curve a bit because that actually looks pretty good for, let's see, for the fingernail. I do it like that, leave it in. Yeah, that's pretty believable curve for the fingernail there. Let's see, Brazen saying, couldn't think of it. How would you set up a Moon Knight in 5e? Like the Marvel character Moon Knight? Let's see. I actually don't have a whole lot of information about Moon Knight other than the memes. Like the "Where's my money, Dracula" bit. Yeah, the Marvel one. Let's see. But for I know, a little unkillable. I think Revenant's pretty good. Especially if there's like an altered deal with the origin of their powers, however you want to play it. I think their powers themselves is very either sorcerer or cleric. But if you're going for pure damage, I mean, cleric's the way to go. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Cleric is very good for dealing damage. And you don't even need very specific builds to get it to work. Yeah, for race, I think Revenant Flavored Reborn is the way to go. Otherwise, let's see, what's another one to do it? Save before I forget. It's the half-orc that has the ability to just stay alive at 1 HP, right? Because if that's, like, if I'm correctly remembering that one, half-orc is another good, like, secondary. If, say, someone's playing with a GM who doesn't want to do a whole lot of, like, the third party or extended things, like reflaving Reborn to a Revenant, it'd be a very good side one. Though if you're going that route, I'd probably suggest Paladin, just because you've got some self-healing that is not magic focused. Cleric's fair, but spellcast. Oh yeah, for sure. But also, like, you can still output a lot of damage as cleric without spells, and you can just reflavor it as just pure healing, so you can stay up longer. Paladin being more martial, yeah. But let's see. You could reflavor the Forge cleric's. I think it's Channel Divinity. It lets you create items with some time, and just say it's like, yeah, that's his whatever particular tools he might need for a thing. Like the old Adam West Batman, it's like, I have just the tool. Just Forge Cleric Divinity. I think that'd be a good way to do that. Work for a lot of... Well, that's particular mechanic would work for a lot of Marvel or detective superheroes, at least. Especially the wonderful Golden Age, which gave us so many great moments. Oh, shit. Forgot these two were still selected. Shit. Just deselect it all. Okay. God damn it, come on. Okay. Just need to select all these finger bits. Move it in like so, because we do have most of this shape correct. We'll just have to figure out the overlap again. Let's see, Baringo, let's see, Sephi. Sorry, when you built Sephi, someone was like, yeah, we got a healer. Not merely a healing cleric, exactly. It's like, oh, I'm not going to be healing. Maybe I'm very easy to heal myself once. Oh, that's another great way to play a cleric. Yeah, I myself do like playing, like, not quite like heal bot, but like that sort of like support role, because it works for a lot of parties, even if they already have another healer. Because like usually everyone wants a chance to, shine in combat, and I'm all for just letting people get that moment. Oh, no, not there. There we go. And clerics are usually a very good way to do that. Though if you want someone who's also tank, Druid. Druid is the best heal tank. Especially if you just take a very, very small dip into Barbarian. Just bring that Totem Barbarian to make you survive longer. It's like, I don't need a backstory, I'm just here to keep you fuckers alive. Let's see. Yeah, this finger needs some, but not quite as much. Point it up like this. Right there. Do need to make it a little thinner, though. Do like that. Good. Good. This finger's way too fat still. There. Here's first knuckle. To make both these corners so I can then... There. Let's see. Focused on utility casting, Sephi isn't typed to remove damage, she's typed prevent with defensive buff and killing stuff first. Also Tiny Mimic Familiar. Perfect combo. See, Brazen saying, honestly, consider healing magic something a weak point 5. Absolutely agree on that one, yeah. There is no healing spell that I can think of that outpaces a damage spell of the same level. It never will. Unless you've got a, was it the healing domain cleric, where you get some bonuses to it, but even then, it's like as soon as you get past like 4th, 5th level spells, there's no healing spell that's going to outpace a damage spell at the same spell cost. Let's see, it's so much less significant than it was back in earlier editions. I miss when you healed a handful of hit points per night. Made a good healer a lot more relevant. Yeah, I suppose that's alright. I mean, it's gotten less grindy than previous editions, though I have not personally had a chance to play some of them, sadly. But I can absolutely believe it with the mindset that older gamers sometimes bring to the table, literally at times. Corner, this needs to be straight. Yeah. Life domain, yes, thank you. Yeah, even with life domain, it's like you do not outpace healing with level ups. It just never happens. Which can be part of a fun challenge, but I mean, at a certain point, it's really more effective just having enough healing potions. And taking the right amount of short rests. Especially if you got a warlock healer. Or at least a warlock who can heal. Wither and Bloom is a very fun spell. If you can finagle it. Don't know why I was trying to say shenagle. That's not a word. Let's see. Bringo's last cleric was life nature. She is more of a spellcaster tank than a healer. Yeah, it's like I said, clerics are great tanks. Debuffs, defensive self buffs, being a hedgehog, guiding bolt, sometimes hitting things. Exactly. And guiding bolt is one of like the go-tos to do damage while also helping your allies do damage. Let's see. Let's just... forgot these two. With this finger over, I think we're about positioned to start this overlap as well. Yeah, we still need to finesse this back one, but we can leave this here. Let's see, reason why for running Pathfinder with the armor as a DR optional. Oh yeah, damage resistance like that. I do like improving some 5e creatures by also giving them a DR as well as resisting damage types. Easier to hit, characters take less damage from each hit. Having a healer in the group is a lot more useful. Yeah, if it was like easier, like I get choice paralysis very easily. If Pathfinder was a little easier to understand what is the quote-unquote optimal choice for a lot of times, it would be a lot easier for me to learn. But it's like there's so many options, it's hard to feel like there's an quote-unquote optimal build. That's probably part of the point, but it's also why I can't get into it so easily. It's why we were going to do... what is the name of the system? I know it's one of the... It's going to bother me. One sec, I'll look it up in the window. Oh, yeah, I'm still watching. Don't turn off my music. Games. Okay, Evil Eye Productions. It is not. Moonlight of Fate. Oh no, that's not this. Right, that's why I'm just doing a one-shot for it. Shit. I'm gonna have to resist a deep dive, look up things. Which pains me to say. I was trying to do primarily art stream, we'll have to endure. Okay, let's see, this finger needs this for the fingernail. This fingernail is good there. I think I can get away deleting that one, because this will be around where the overlap ends. Yeah. Let me do. Let's see. Let's see. Brango saying when they're playing taxes, God bother. Realize that holy shit, your max damage was second only to the Wind Touch Storm Sorcerer. It's like, yeah. Yeah, like I said, cleric's very, very dangerous without having to put a whole lot of thought into it, seeing as you accidentally got something doing that much damage. See, more right there. Do this. Like, even this placement of the fingers is not perfect, but I do need to keep it a little separated so it's easier to tell them apart, to tell that there is multiple fingers here. One way to do it. Oh. Let's up this one. Deuce, angle out. Corner, so I can then do that. There. Then I can do another layer that is going to be the actual kind of like shine of the fingertips, not the fingertips, the nails, to make that look better. Braden's saying one of the strengths of Pathfinder is that unless the GM is pushing for a heavily optimized campaign, you can grow your character a lot more organically, assigning skill points each level according to what you've been investing time and effort into, making feats that feel right for the character, and there are relatively few things that will outright harm your progress. You know, like I was saying, it's like, I get that, but God, it's been a while since I've said, but my first D20 system was GURPS, which is very gritty. Like, even if you do a whole lot of, like, give players resources to make a character, you've got to pinch your pennies, so to speak, to make sure you can do the things you actually want to. It's, God, it was throwing myself in the deep end. But honestly, used GURPS books were a lot cheaper than used D&D. Which I think, at the time, it would have been the rise of... Yeah, my first D20 system was GURPS. And I know it's D6s, but we use D20s for, for tracking health, because we are Magic the Gathering household, and honestly, is a lot easier to use life trackers like that. But it's like, that was the only system we had that used D20s, other than, well, just period, as part of the mechanics. And it's because of we house ruling. It's like, it's the easiest way to track health. We all know how to do it. But yeah, after that, it's like, okay, we're ready for actual systems that have actual uses for non-standard D6 dice that we were raiding our board game cabinet for. So eventually, we made the swap to By Way of Fate, which we played for a bit but wasn't as popular, to I think it was 3rd edition. Short-lived, because after that, it's when family started going off to college, and I moved out of the house. God, why is this finger not looking right to me? Let's get out of this mode. There. That's what's looking weird. Make this thinner. Yeah, no, we did not actually use d20s for the rolls. The whole bell curve thing was actually really good, but like I said, for optimizing, it's like it's not a great system to learn that things like Pathfinder, you don't have to optimize every little thing. It's fine to do things just for flavor. Let's see. It's going to need to be straight line here. Maybe I need to get the stroke on there so it's easier for my mind to process. God, that's thick. We'll swap to black, stroke style. One. That's still too thick. I think 0.8. And put it. Where's the behind there? It's good, though a bit thick still. 60. There we go. That's easy for my brain to rationalize overlap here. Yeah, the upside to the system, though, was because everything had to matter. It did go a long way for helping me as a DM, because I could not get any campaign things online at the time, so I had to make up everything myself. Like I said, further throwing myself into the deep end. Because while at the start it was me and my siblings kind of like trading off who was running a session or two of story, overall it eventually led to just me being the DM. And corner. But yeah, it helped me a lot with creative writing and prose and stuff like that. Let's see, Pathfinder 1 does have a lot of Load of Sorts, a lot of books of additional stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot of additional stuff. When I swap to Roll20, is actually down to 5th edition or Pathfinder. When I was trying to learn a new system, it's like, okay, whatever group I can get into is gonna decide what I become. And originally it was Pathfinder. Like, I found a group, it was Rise of the Runelords, the one I'm currently adapting to 5e. But then we fell apart. And after that, I just could not find another Pathfinder group. So instead, I switched to 5e. But for years, I really wanted to do Rise of the Runelords, and it's why I'm currently adapting it now. It's like, I loved the opening, I wanted to kind of like bring that story back and justify buying the campaign, because it was a beloved one, apparently. It was hard to find used copies and whatnot. So yeah, justified it by saying, okay, we're gonna go the long haul and just convert it. And it's worked out pretty well so far. There's been interesting character moments from figuring out how the changes make sense for in my setting. So then my players can also like have fun by referencing things that happened in the first campaign, even though chronologically it happens before the first campaign. They've technically branched the timeline already. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see, where was the first branch timeline they did? Oh, right, it was Take On Like Hound to some lesser degree, and the white fascist group they've been working with, who call themselves the White Wolves. They just came across another group who were pretty much set up the same way, and pretty much saw the writing on the wall. It's like, you know what? This timeline, they're not going to be a threat. And, they did pretty well. Found out they were back in the wannabe military police ruling over Rio, Brazil. And, well, they knocked them out legally and physically in a drag-down fight when they tried to bring martial law, and it was great. Like that. It's getting closer, though I feel I need to make some adjustments and just like resize it a bit. But I'll get there. Noble Pursuit. Brady says, I've never enjoyed trying to run pre-written campaigns yourself. The writer's plans usually don't survive the first encounter with the players. Yeah. But it is very good guidelines. Especially because Rise of the Runelords has the best, in my opinion, way to get players invested in the campaign. One, because it just starts a fun little festival. Your players don't have to make characters that know each other because they can just run into each other at the course of just playing the games. And then just bam, goblin attack brings them together, under threat of lost blood and clanging steel. What better way is there to learn of your new companion's capabilities? Also, I'll take that sip in a bit. There. God, this figure still feels too thick to me. I need to bring it thinner this way. Having to do all this. We'll sip before doing all that. Yeah, no problem, Brazen. You enjoy your night, sleep well, and I'll see you next time. Or perhaps more accurately, see you around in Braka's channel. Let's see, how far? Oh, hey, we're already almost an hour and a half in. Oof, time sure flies when you're bad at art. Let's see. There we go. Okay, we do that. Bring this in a bit. There we go. Okay, that looks better. Yeah. Ugh. I got lost then. I'm going to try and wrap up this section of the hand, do some resizing it, and then I think we'll wrap up this stream by just messing around with the other sound effect things I also hadn't touched in a bit. Let's see, this needs to be roughly here, here, the curvature of the hand connects to the palm there. This needs to be a corner that I can then guess there into the palm, change that corner to that. Let's see, it's a bit of a lift there, down, then I can make this into a corner, correct that. There we go, there we go. Though these need to be brought in some, they're a bit far out. Yeah, that's not bad for the hand. The first draft, but now we need to down a bit. That looks a lot more natural than the book. Be brought to here. Alrighty. That's a good place to leave that hand, because I got lost in that for a lot longer than I planned. So let's see, where is here? Just swap this window too. It's not popping up there. Why is it not? There we go. Impacts. What's this Barango? Oh god, has one of your mutuals made a very unfortunate prediction then? What are we hoping that Apollo does not see and go, that looks like a good idea? Well, let's see. The flag I need... Give me 6 flag. Okay, it's the gray, black, purple, white. Demi row flag is the same but green instead of purple. Okay. I can leave that preference right there out of view. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Barango, what unfortunate prediction has one of your mutuals made? Call this one row 6. Start with the 6 one. Okay. So we need gradient, that's right. If Foon gets prophecy dodgeballed, you might die in an election-related statewide molasses flood, or whatever the fuck the implication was. Oh shit, you live in the, I can't remember what state had the molasses flood, but you live there? Because that's some of the coolest history that is not, an intentional terrorist attack, in my opinion. Though I suppose that would be very unfortunate. I hope it does not happen to you. Let's see, I think for this gradient... I think we do this as pure black. This one will do as the green. And then on the other version it'll be the purple. It's a bit closer to a forest there. Then we'll go to the gray here. Which actually will take the same as this to start. And just kind of take it to the gray like this. With a few more ticks towards the white to lighten it. That will just be pure white. I think that's a pretty good start to the gradient. Oh, you don't live there? Okay. Well, that's good at least. Oh, wait, no. I was asking if you live in the state with the molasses flood. Yeah. I guess it's not good or bad. It would have been cool, though. It's like, what do people know our state for? The molasses flood. Yeah, unfortunate. Let's see. Okay, to better control. These will do a... Go, then just bring that in there just a bit. That helps ensure a larger bar of the solid colors here. Bring these points in like that. And a little bit more. I think that's pretty good. Applied, hopefully not prophecy included. Something worse than the 1919 molasses flood happened on Election Day in Boston. The fun bits of just history. Okay. Then we can get rid of that. Okay, then... Shit, I messed up because it's the row that's green. That's right. So I'll make that invisible, this visible, and change these colors to purple. I think it's a bit closer to the blue of the spectrum. Go here so it can be a little... I guess it is a darker purple. There we go. Ooh, though I think we need to adjust this in a bit more. But yeah, hopefully your election day is not that eventful. Hopefully the most eventful thing is just, I don't know, if your particular area has someone who just sells election weenies or whatever they call it. I know one of the locations near me in Texas did that. You voted? Here, discount on this hot dog. And so you get the hot dog before voting, you have to pay full price. After voting, you get that nice little discount. It's a good little way to just, encourage people to vote. Let's see, what do I do the stroke for this color? Foon has created a writing process called the dimensional nexus. Is this where the hopefully not prophecy came up? Because if so, oof. How unfortunate. Let's see. Paste. No, not that one. This one? That's the gray I was looking for. And, oh, wrong thing. This should be the purple. Yeah. Let's do it like that. Yeah, then we got the purple here and the gray outline here. That looks good, though I think maybe the stroke a little bigger. Let's make it full 2. It looks pretty good. It was made there, yeah. Well, hopefully that is not true for your area. However, if there is a molasses flood type thing where no one intentionally caused it, but it's going to be on headlines regardless because it's election day, I think that'd be very fun. Doesn't quite work here, does it? What if I do, instead of solid lines, what if I do dashed? Let's see. Not looks weird. Longer lines? Perhaps. Let's see. In that project, the timeline is the 91 verse, because the timeline where the USSR dissolved in 1991. I can't recall. Did it dissolve later in the actual timeline? That part of history, well, honestly, any part of history that requires memorizing dates was my weak point. Let's see, what do I do? Let's see. Looks good. Where's the offset? I could have sworn there's a way to offset. There we go. Then we've got this cool looking ladder effect right here, like that. Incidentally, 91 version timelines is split off of it. The only ones where in 2024 the USSR equivalent does not exist. Oof. I suppose that is unfortunate. God, this is not working for me. what about... So we put it back at 2. Get rid of these dashes. A thought occurs. What if I duplicate this? Let's see. Mask layer. What if for this one there is no fill? We'll change this to a just black and white. We're gonna make it there. Okay, let's try that. Incidentally, 91 verse, the timeline split off it. The only ones were in 2024. The USSR equivalent does not exist. Interesting way to do that. Why did it do that? Oh wait, maybe it's because I need the fill just be white. Let's try that. There we go. Ooh, though I got the mask the wrong direction. Go invert that. I think it works. Just as a test. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I think that's a good thump with the not custom, because I didn't make it. The free font that's just called Anxiety, where it's just extra dashes for capital letters. The font only has capitals to help show it off. It's like, here's the capital M, and it's just got extra like this. The U, which is just this, but the O is a big spiral. It's a very fun font, in my opinion. Wait, did I? Oh. I think if I do this, it solves the problem. We'll see. Dang it, no, it doesn't. It's probably because I copy-paste them. Damn it. Alright, we'll do a check. See if this also copy-pastes. Okay, it does not. Get to mirror screen. Okay, we... Okay, good. It's staying its own separate thing so far. Paste, green code. Wait. I can probably partially solve the problem by just having it below here. So I can see both of them side by side. Okay. Anyways. There we go. I think it's fine doing it like this. Add them first so they're also a bit more visually different, or... Nah, we'll do it like that. Let's see. The stroke I did... It's the green and... Let's see, which one was the gray? I think it was this copy-paste. Yes. The stroke is 2. I need to throw that just so I can actually see this. Yes, it was like that. And what I did was I duplicated it, and I turned stroke paint black to white vertically. Wait a second. Ah, no, it did the thing. Damn it. Okay. Right? Yes. Okay, but now I gotta move the stroke again. It's there too. That. Right. I forgot. There we go. There we go. We have both the demi-row and the demisexual thumps done. Silence and put into... Oh, not silence. Made invisible and put into the finished folder. Alright, what to work on next? Yeah, we'll do clang. Because I remember there was some issue with the Labrys lesbian flag as of late. Apparently TERFs are trying to claim it, so it is not a trans-inclusive one, which is fucking bullshit. Well, let's see, the colors for this one. Probably helps if I actually spelled it correctly. Okay, there we go. So some version, it is just the two-headed axe on top of the lesbian flag, but we're going to do the one that is different, that is just black and white on a purple field with a white outline. Because that gives us some good definite. So yeah, we keep the stroke that. Let's see. Was there a way to make one of these letters look more like an axe? To bring that in. I don't think so. It's a shame. Alright. Let's see. I think what we can instead do, I think it's just a solid black triangle. Let's see. Start polygon tool. There we go. That's a good size to start. Address below the clang. first we'll find the purple we're going to use. Let's see. Yeah, it's more of a red end of the purple spectrum. There we go. That is the purple we will use for this. Let's see. The gradients. If that is full, outside is going to be... Oh. Black. There we go. See if we can't make it kind of look... So we do that. And we bring out here. And white, because we're not going to do the complicated labyrinth shape. I think this is a good way to kind of represent that. I mean, I guess I could do the axe, though. In another version. I think we'll start with the assumption that we're going to do it like this framing. But for now, we're going to leave that behind the A as such. Let's see. So the way the flag is, it's the triangle with the axe in the center, but the rest of it's on purple. Let's see. Kind of represent that. I mean, there's no... Let's see. Make this invisible for a bit. Make sure stroke. Not in front. Yeah, definitely behind. Both. There's Phil. That's why it looked weird. Let's see, invert. That looks pretty good. Though I think I'm gonna actually, instead of solid cone on the stroke, solid color on the stroke, words, let's do a gradient. What we are going to do, come on, give me another there. This one is going to be solid black, flow black there, gradient, okay. The reason for this is going to be simple. We are going to make it repeat reflected. We don't want this to be a very visible black, so instead, now that we can see it, angle it. In fact, we're gonna keep it parallel to these. Come on. Perfect. Now that we know where that is, we're going to instead make it a little see-through. Trying to give the impression of a shine on there. And we can also do that. good. Now let's see with the triangle. Let's see, maybe for the triangle instead, this purple. I still want some of that fuzziness, because I think that helps sell the shape there. Alright, we've done that. Now, duplicate this. We will make it a solid black. And make sure, okay, that it has not affected the other, because we had that issue with the duplicating on the other. Alright, how do I make the shapes? There we go. Actually, let's first start with the handle. Go, make it white. Put it up just a bit. Oh wait, right, we need to path, object path, there we go. Because it's a little subtle. But the handles do have a slight wider base than the top. We want to replicate that effect. Alright, let's see if we can't make those blades in 7 minutes. Ooh. Something I do not think will be that tough. Because effectively, what we are making are some trapezoids. Which we will just... We will start with the curves, which will be there, there, then boom. Then we just go straight to the node control. Do that, then we make both of these corner. Rude. Make both of these corners, so then we can turn these in like so. So let's see. We need to make the curve a bit more gentle like that. This to there. And I think I made that too wide actually. We do it like this. This down. I think that's closer to where it should be. Readjust these, readjust these. Not perfect, I think. I think that does a good job getting the idea across. Last we just need to bring these bits so the distance from here a bit more easy to see. All right, duplicate. We flip like so. Drag. It's actually pretty good. then we'll just combine all these together. There's actually path union. Labrys, white. Alright. Together we'll put these in group. There we go. Let's see. So, what I was trying to do. Yeah, that's good placement. Then we bring these a little closer to the bottom. Actually, I forgot to hit the right key, so it just goes straight down to the position. Let's see, this is a slight change from the original. We're going to give a bit of a curve on both ends, like it's been smoothed with use. Now, comparison. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks good, but it needs one last change, I think. Because the TTRPGs are trying to cut the proper trans ladies from the Labrys lesbian flag, or at least this symbol specifically, we are also going to, let's see, I think we'll put it around here. Let's see, stroke, gradient, where be my trans flag? Do I want the gradient or do I want to, we'll do the gradient. Big fan of the gradient. Gradients just look better in my opinion. Let's see. I will kind of minimize the blue just because it's the Labrys lesbian flag, but hopefully this way my version at least knows it is trans inclusive. There we go. Ooh. Seeing a problem there. Let's see. I guess we'll just have to shrink it a little bit. There we go. Clang for the Labrys lesbian flag. I think with this we should probably also expand the stroke on the clang itself, just so it isn't getting kind of like washed out there. Bring to a full one. Yeah, I think that's fine. All fine and dandy. We've gotten technically 3 done today. Let's see. Drag this down to the finished. And that will be it for today, but for next time, do the bonk. Next time we come and do the impacts, we'll do the bonk with the 3 canaries, like the old cartoons. Like, oh god, we've been hit. Sweet, what flag is that? The polysexual? I'm blanking on what that one is. Let's check it. Polysexual. Ah, that's just the, it's RGB. Well, kinda. It's a bit more of a magenta than a red. Yeah, we'll just get those general colors on there at least. Fill, gradient. Kind of a bit more of a red on this magenta. This blue is a bit more of a brighter. Not so dark green, kind of more like a playful green. And, let's see, I need to, what I'm about to try and do, there we go. There we go. Should be at 67-ish. It's not perfect. Let's see, blue. There we go. That's what was going on. I need a bit more green to it. But yeah, we'll leave that for next time we get to it, because the hard part of this will be making the little canaries. I might, seeing as Musk want them, might base the design off the Twitter bird. But for now, we'll leave it like this. Let's go to the BRB screen and see who we can raid into. Close down Inkscape. Make sure everything's saved. It is awesome. So Co is currently on. Where's the window? I just had it. There we go. Twitch. Who is on? Please show me. Don't know why I'm being suggested that channel. Okay. Let's see. There's Oceanics, who's also doing art. Anyone else doing art? Ooh, Tired Rat Man. I haven't been able to raid into them for a while. Let me just make sure. Yep. Maybe if I actually hit the right streamer. God, fucking mouse moving on me suddenly out of nowhere. Okay, we'll just hit the copy /raid. Tired Rat Man. Sweet, we can actually raid into them. So thank you everyone for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the campaign stories of my last Friday night game. It was a lot of fun. It'll be a bit until we have such a fun descriptive battle, but I hope you'll be able to catch whatever next stream that happens to be in. But as always, my tome readers, I hope you are eating enough, drinking enough, getting enough sleep. Take care of your body so it can take care of you. And something to look forward to, Thursday, Halloween night. I do not have work, so I'm planning to do a day stream of just making tarot cards and Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. Maybe some more story time. So I hope you guys are looking forward to it, but in the meantime, see you around and let's go ahead and raid out.